Okay, now we move on to the next TEJ plugin program. And this is TEJ Smart Wizard. So you have to install from your laptop to have further functions. Here, open your Excel file. If you already install the Smart Wizard, click Add-ins here. You will see that TEJ database, a pencil, and the refresh function, and the edit function here. If you have not yet seen this function on your Excel file, just install here. File, click File, and there have more. Click More. Then did you see the options? Click Options. And the options here is a add-in program. Click Add-in. And scroll down Excel Add-in and click Go. Here you can see some plugin program associated with the Excel file. If you have ever installed this Smart Wizard, you will see this Excel 03 menu. Click ticker, yes, and then click OK. You click OK, then you will see the function here. So you click Add-in, you will see the TEJ function out there. So here, next, click the pencil function. You click the pencil function, it will show you the Smart Wizard screen. Now we continue to the carbon emission of our last practice, because the last practice will only use a transfer file that we get carbon emission 1, 2, 3, and total emission. We have only 5 years data to component. The same way, if we use the Smart Wizard, we go back to Smart Wizard here, and you can click the database you needed. Here is sustainability solution, I think. Should go click it here. Sustainability solution. Let me check whether the data are there. We have environmental data right here, and see whether you can find the carbon emission. Yeah, did you see the carbon emission? Yeah, so click carbon emission. And here is the same item that we use from the database, but now I can do it from our Excel file. So click level 1, level 2, and level 3, and total emission. And then go to the right. So the same way we have done before, but now we use the Smart Wizard. And then choose the date. So we have the same day period, 2020 0101, the same search. Remember that we use like yearly data, right? So yearly data, and we ascending or descending. We usually ascending. So from 2020 to 2025. Okay, so this is what we need. So we choose all. To the right. And then which company are you interested in? Because we just say that we don't want too many because we want to do the same we have done before. So maybe we pick TSMC, the same. Come to here, and then we pick Win, the same. We come to here, right? Then, okay. And others will be very, very similar as we have done before. But you can export now. But before you export, you can have a preview. But the problem is we usually hope that we can continue to integrate other database, right? So we already had like full variables, and we have two company, we have 5 years, and we are hoping that we can integrate some data, other database, the trading items. So we can go back to like a social responsibility. Which social responsibility? Or we can go back to others. Financial statement. Maybe we can go to which database are you really interested in? We can find some items you're really, really interested in. Okay, now, for example, we are hoping that we can continue to have like the ID number, industrial numbers, then we just click all this. And then to the right. So not only we included the 4 items we had from ESG, now we have another database, the items from public corporate finance database, and we collect the industrial information. You can also add many others, okay, doing the same work again and again. Like I'm not just interested in carbon emission. I also interested in their short-term subordinate date or total capital. For example, what are you interested in? You can add it here. Okay, but some of them may not be fit for the semiconductor. We have to find others. Trading database. And then trading database, you have the security, the stock price is here. Okay, so it's probably fit for you, the trading amount, selling price, average buying price, average selling price. Maybe you're interested in it, then you can click on the right. And here, average buy price, average sell price. Click on the right. And then, okay. So here is the same period, the same company, however, integrate with different database and variables, which can be more efficient for further researches. You don't have to merge data, spend a lot of time, because you can do it one time from the smart wizard. Okay, So here we have to check before we download the data. Check this is annual data. Okay, so it disappeared because when you download the stock price, it probably belong to daily data. So we have to do it again. Go to the right and to company and annual data, right? Okay, so here, if nothing looks wrong, let's export to Excel file. Error. It said that we don't access the data. I think this is the last two items because this is a different frequency. Okay, no problem. We can go back to edit the data. Okay, one moment. The smart wizard still do the work for us, right? So we can see there's still catch up with 1, 2, 3 total commission and a lot of the sector data. But the sector data here is empty. So they say that may have some errors to reminding us. But here, if we see that we have to revise, then we can click the red flag. Did you see the red flag? Click this icon, go back to the add-on. There is a edit function, so you can click edit function. So it will go back to the function we have. So now we can remove all the sector data because it's empty, so we don't need it. We remove those, and we remove those. This is empty. We don't need that. We can find some useful data from the listed company, which listing is good for us. And now we can from the company database. This is industrial. We can from IFRS financial. Maybe we can just say that we need the return on assets because it has that. We probably need return on assets. Return on assets A, B, C. Not sure the difference, so we click all. And then we can say we might need the market. Okay, and then we can say I probably need Tobin Q's and Tobin Q A and dividend yield, cash dividend yield. Okay, so we just try to assess the data from different data sets. So we have a carbon, we have a financial statement items here, and this is like a quarterly data. It changed to, by my preference is the annual data, so we still go back to annual. go to the right, it comes to like a quarterly data. Okay, so let's try to export that because other items I did not change, right? Okay, see what's going on with. So this is the refresh new data here. Did you see that the Tobin's queue? Yeah, so we have a new Tobin's queue. We have the Maki. And the return on assets, A, B, C, different company. And we have dividend yield, cash dividend yield. And we still don't have the buying price and the selling price. And so on. So far, we already collect the important items we need, right? From financial statement and from the ESG corporate emission data sets. Okay, so here is the smart wizard. We can save as like download, we can say this emission. Practice. Okay, so we save here. And then remember, save it as a CSV. So this is a CSV data set. Where? Come up here, this one. Save. Okay, so this was the Excel file. And the next, we will import this data set into the data file. So now you have to initiate your data program on your laptop. Did you see the data here? Yeah, now file, opened, or import is the first time you have to import and pick a CSV. So here, pick the location. Now we have an emission here. This is what we will need. And then, did you see that there is something wrong, right? Because usually this should be a black font, but some of them are not. So we need to process before we're doing further. Okay, so we can still practice a little from the data that which is available and affected. Okay, we click OK. And we can describe the data first. Okay, so the data set included like carbon emission 1, 2, 3, total emission, and return on assets. Did you see on the right? There is a variable label, return on assets, Tobin's Q, dividend yield, cash dividend yields, and so on. We can go back to the data sets to take a quick look at that too. Okay, so for the company, how many company we have? We can tap the company ID. So TSMC have 72%, and Wing have 24%. And the same thing, we can take a look at the how many years. Okay, so we can take how many years. We can see how many years. So the data have 5 years, and each one have 18 to 26 observations. There are some different. And then if we say, how many observation in total and the average return, like a Tobin Q's return, we can have a summation of the data for this observation, ATA. So we can summation Tobin's Q, dividend yield, cash dividend yield, return on assets 1, 2, 3. And this is the summary statistic from the data. And then we can have a very quick summary statistic from data, because we know that the return on assets is usually very high, this two company on average, on this like a 28 to 15. Cash dividend is 1.8. Tobin's Q is very high, larger than 1. And their return on assets is 23, 15, and 28. 1, 2, 3. If we say that I'm interested in all this, how about the year? Then we can type and we can calculate it by year, because this is the summer statistic, the 88 observation. And here we can see that we can say that we need to have the years. I'm not quite sure that this is a string or encode. We can try it, see whether they can do it. Okay, they do it. Okay, so here is the 2020. The numbers on average is like this. And the 2025, 2024, it is decreasing. Before it's very high, and then decreasing, and then to 2024 is increasing again. So you can see the year trend of these variables. And because we have some, did you remember that we have a data set of the sector? Carbon emission. We can take a look at why the carbon emission here does not work. There have a lot of MP, so we can encode. We make this string. We try to make it available, but not sure. We can this string, replace. So they don't work. They don't work for that. So the problem is there have some space. can take a look at there with the data. Whether there have some like a string. I did not see any string. Total combination. Sometimes this may happen because the format. It might happen because it's like a format. Let me check whether format have some problem. You can check the format. It's a number or general. If we change it to the general, let me see. If I change all this to general, then I change to general without any comma, and I said it again. Okay, so now I redo it again. I import CSV data and the same thing. Okay, it worked. Okay, so before comprehension 1 to 3 is red words, right? Now I change the format. Sometimes the format have some problems. So you have to be very, very patient to handle those one. And now we have a quantitative items which is all black, which is perfect. Now, okay, we can do the next. Okay, so comprehension, how about a comprehension? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so this is the comprehension for these two companies over 5 years. We can see their quantitative numbers. Compared to TSMC, how about when that you can separate them into two company, one by one. So I can say I buy company ID. Okay, so company ID, we can see that in total, the level 1 is 7.2. 7.2. However, win is only 6.4 compared to TSMC 9.7, right? So there have different tools that you can explore more for these two company. And also we can compare many others, we can compare their Tobin skew, return on assets. We can compare to their dividend yield, cash dividend yield by company. Also, you can compare many other dimensions when you download the data efficiently. Okay, so this is a very preliminary small wizard that you can do from your Excel plugin. So just install small wizard and start from your Excel file and click Add In, menu 03 to have all these functions on your own. Okay, so this is the very useful tools. So far, I think is the TEJ the most and the best tools for all users. So you have to practice these functions as your own to be more convenient and familiar with to do many further researchers. Okay, and then I switched the role to you. So practice to access this very similar data as mine and submit it to this discussion board. Okay, we'll take a 1 minute break.